Here's a country-wise overview of inflation and deflation. Trends as of 2025. Countries facing high inflation. Argentina, among the highest inflation rates globally, exceeding 200% annually. Turkey inflation remains high, around 65% due to currency depreciation. Venezuela, hyperinflation continues, with rates fluctuating above 100%. Pakistan, inflation has eased recently but was over 30%. In 2023, Egypt inflation is above 35%, driven by food and energy prices. Countries with moderate inflation. United States inflation has stabilized around 3% to 4%. After peaking in 2022, United Kingdom inflation remains around 4% to 5%. With interest rate hikes, Indian inflation is moderate at 5% to 6% due to controlled fuel prices. Brazil, inflation is under 5% with strong central bank measures. South Africa, inflation fluctuates between 4% to 6%, impacted by energy prices. Countries facing deflation or low inflation. China, experiencing deflation, with consumer prices falling 0.7% in early 2025. Nigeria, high inflation due to currency devaluation and economic instability. Ethiopia, rising prices due to food shortages and conflicts. Russia, inflation driven by sanctions and geopolitical factors. Sri Lanka struggled with inflation due to economic crisis and debt issues. Ghana, high inflation caused by currency depreciation and rising import costs. Countries with deflation or low inflation. 1. Germany, generally low inflation, though it spiked temporarily. 2. France, low inflation but affected by EU-wide economic policies. 3. Italy, occasional deflation risk due to weak economic growth. For Singapore, historically low inflation with occasional deflation periods. 5. Taiwan, low inflation due to stable economic policies. Common reasons for inflation and deflation. Here are more countries and their inflation or deflation trends. Countries with high inflation. 1. South Africa, inflation driven by energy costs and currency depreciation. 2. Bangladesh, rising inflation due to food and fuel price increases. 4. Mexico, inflation impacted by global supply chain disruptions. 5. Indonesia, facing inflation due to commodity price fluctuations. Reasons for inflation: rising prices. 1. Demand pull inflation, when demand for goods and services exceeds supply, pushing prices up, for example, post-pandemic recovery spending. 2. Cost push inflation, rising costs of production, wages. Raw materials, energy make businesses charge more. 3. Currency depreciation, when a country's currency loses value. Imports become expensive, increasing inflation. 4. Excess money supply. When central banks print too much money or lower interest rates, it can reduce the currency's value and raise prices. 5. Supply chain disruptions, shortages of goods due to war, pandemics, or trade restrictions cause price spikes. 6. Geopolitical issues, wars, sanctions, and trade conflicts disrupt markets, leading to higher costs, for example, Russia-Ukraine war affecting energy prices. 7. Government policies, subsidies, tax increases, or high public spending can fuel inflation. Reasons for deflation: falling prices. 1. Weak consumer demand. When people spend less, businesses lower prices to attract buyers. 2. Overproduction. If supply exceeds demand, prices drop, common in industrialized economies. 3. Strong currency. A strong currency makes imports cheaper, leading to lower prices domestically. 4. Technological advancements, automation and efficiency improvements, lower production costs and reduce prices. 5. High interest rates, central banks raising rates can slow borrowing and spending, leading to deflation. 6. Aging population. Older populations tend to spend less, reducing overall demand. 7. Debt crises. When economies are in deep debt, Businesses and consumers reduce spending, pushing prices down. For more information,